Hello everyone, this is Matthew once again, and today is finally the right time to do it, and this also marks the 80th anniversary of the timeless classic, The Wizard of Oz, starring Judy Garland, Ray Bolger, Jack Haley, and Burt Lahr, and Frank Morgan, along with Margaret Hamilton and Billy Burke. And The Wizard of Oz is one of those movies I grew up watching as a kid, which many people could say this is a timeless classic, which it is. I used to own this movie on VHS, and during a time when I start to grow up a bit and I start to act a bit more picky about my taste in movies, and I just say like, The Wizard of Oz, it's all a bunch of baby stuff and this and that and blah blah blah. But as soon as when I was starting to get into films, I started to have a look back in this film and just forgot to realize how great the movie is, and I was like, no, this is a timeless classic. There's definitely nothing wrong with The Wizard of Oz. So yeah, it was during a time that I just pretty much EXO. But now, as I'm old enough and I develop a brain, this is a timeless classic. So, I don't know what else I can say about The Wizard of Oz, which I'm about to tell you the backstory about this film. And before I do that, I want to show you this. If y'all could see, this is a ticket I have here, which I went to go see it at the Tinseltown Cinemark Theater at Pflugerville, and was definitely one of the best experiences I ever had in my entire life, because I have never seen The Wizard of Oz on the big screen. But now, when it came to 2019 for the 80th anniversary release, I had to see it, and it was phenomenal. It was definitely larger alive just to see The Wizard of Oz the way it was meant to be seen on the big screen. So, without further ado, let's talk about The Wizard of Oz. After the success of Disney's Snow White and the Seven Dwarfs, Walt Disney was trying to get his hands on the Wizard of Oz books and then make it to films, but unfortunately, MGM won the rights to make it to a feature film. And the film's original director, before Victor Fleming was brought on board, Richard Sorb was originally the director of The Wizard of Oz, as he only shot 2 weeks of footage, but producer Mervyn LeRoy reviewed the footage and realized that Sorb was rushing, so he got fired, and George Cukor was brought on board to fix some of the problems that Sorb had, and he just changed mainly Dorothy Gale's look to going from this baby doll look and just make her just a girl from Kansas. And then after their main directors they find, they settled with Victor Fleming. And while Victor Fleming was the main director of The Wizard of Oz, he had to lead the production, so he'd go on to make Gone with the Wind because Clark Gable was not getting along with George Cukor here. So Victor Fleming was able to save the film. And of course, King Theodore was brought in to finish The Wizard of Oz, but mostly the Kansas scenes, but did not want to take any credit because he knows that this is Victor Fleming's movie. And of course, the film made its debut on August 25th, 1939, as it received acclaimed reviews by critics and did pretty well at the box office by making $22.9 million against its $3 million budget. And it was nominated for 6 Academy Awards, winning 2 for Best Music and Best Original Song over the Rainbow. However, for the Best Picture award, it was given to Gone with the Wind. Well, even though I do like Gone with the Wind, but I just like The Wizard of Oz more. And Judy Garland won her Special Juvenile Academy Award for Babes in Arms and The Wizard of Oz. The film will go on to make its debut on the CBS network, as it now became the most film seen the most in movie history. And after 2009, the film continues to be a timeless classic, as it was shown to each children's generation and being watched the most. And to this day, I still love this film. And of course, I have here is this Blu-ray edition, which of course is now 10 years old for the 70th anniversary release. But now in 2019, there could be an Ultra HD Blu-ray release on the horizon, which it is possible, and I am definitely curious to see how this movie will look in 4K Blu-ray. So yeah, what can I say about The Wizard of Oz that hasn't already said? Many of you talk about this film. It's been talked to many film scholars and film historians and many each generation of newcomer filmmakers, especially me. It is a timeless classic, which I know I keep saying timeless many times. I mean, there's nothing particularly dated about this movie. I still love this film, and to this day, I will always continue loving the film. Even though I have never read any much of the Oz book, other than the first one, because I read the book after I seen the movie, and yeah, the book was different from the film. The Wizard of Oz has a great story. It's a timeless story about a girl in Kansas who gets whisked away in a tornado. She lands up in Oz, meets a couple of new friends, the Scarecrow, the Tim, and the Lion, alongside with Toto, her dog, and then they go on an adventure to get a brain, a heart, a courage, as well as trying to get home. It's a film that's filled with heart and joy. A film that makes you want to laugh, and I guess a film that makes you want to cry. Of course, I didn't cry during The Wizard of Oz, but nevertheless, the movie still is pure of heart and joy. I love the story, and you have great memorable characters such as the Scarecrow, the Tin Man, the Lion, and of course you do have the well-known character Dorothy Gale, played by Judy Garland, with definitely one of her best roles, and maybe it could be my favorite. I don't know, because I haven't seen that many films that Judy Garland's done other than Meet Me at St. Louis. She really owns this role because she is Dorothy Gale. Especially when it comes to Dorothy Gale, I definitely think of Judy Garland as the Wizard of Oz. And it has great songs, especially Summer of the Rainbow, If I Only Had a Brain, A Heart, The Nose, as well as We're Out to See the Wizard, the Wonderful Wizard of Oz. And I know that this movie's been parodied many times, and especially like on Mad TV or Saturday Night Live. And I know it spun an unofficial sequel, a prequel, The Wiz, which is made to a movie based on the Broadway, and the movie that stars Diane Ross and, of course, Michael Jackson. And yes, it will also be spoofed in a Tom and Jerry crossover called Tom and Jerry and the Wizard of Oz. And I thought the sets are fantastic. The map painting is gorgeous, and the timing is just perfect. It never feels tiresome. You can easily watch this movie and you never get tired of it. And yes, I never get tired of watching this movie. I know every line in the movie, I know every scene in the movie, and I know every moment of the film that are spectacular. Of course, you get terrified by the flying monkeys, and of course, you do point out the things like the cowardly lion jumping through the window, or why the heck did the Scarecrow get a gun? Which I don't know how, but hey, what do I know? Which of course it is pretty amusing that a G-rated film gets to have one of the characters holding a gun. And oh yeah, even this film was reissued one time for the 3D re-releases, which I have never seen this film in 3D, but I heard it's supposed to be really good. But I just stick with the 2D version, because that's how I viewed The Wizard of Oz, because this wasn't a 3D experience. I mean, it was already an experience to begin with when you saw this film. But it 3D adds more to it, and I would be definitely looking forward to seeing it if they ever say about bringing it back, but I don't know. But nevertheless, I still stick with the 2D version. If you have seen The Wizard of Oz, and you already have, but if you have not seen it, please feel free to show it. It really does appeal to young generations and old generations, both kids and adults too alike. And of course, it's understandable not many of y'all can like this film, especially I know Stanley Kubrick is not really the biggest fan of The Wizard of Oz, but hey, opinion's opinion. Not anyone has to like The Wizard of Oz, which I know made them consider to be an overrated film, but to me, I don't think it's overrated. I still stand by it as a classic, and it will always be a classic. So, I don't know what else to say except if you like to see children's fantasy films besides Harry Potter or whatever films you can think of, well, I know there was Harry Potter and there was Narnia and there was many other fantasy films, especially The Lord of the Rings. But this is also a great children's fantasy, and I definitely wholeheartedly recommend The Wizard of Oz. I love this movie to this day, and I will always continue loving it. And really, in my book, it earns itself an A+. So, that's a review of The Wizard of Oz. I hope you enjoy it. If you have not seen The Wizard of Oz, please feel free to check it out. If you do have seen it, then please let me know what is your favorite moment in the film, and also, if I haven't talked anything else, what else have I haven't said about the film? And also, what do you think of this video? Do you like it? Do you not like it? Let me know. Feel free to put your comments down below, and don't forget the subscribe button. Thank you for watching. Take care. And before I review The Return of Oz, which I'm about to get to, I'm about to do some special inside look video, which I'm going to put the Return of Oz review onto a halt. So, thank you, and there is no place like home. It just always follow the yellow brick road. Thank you, and I'll see you later. Bye-bye.